Hello and welcome back. We are going to continue our series for technical interview question. In our last video, which I'm going to put in my description, we talk about how you can use the premium lab, which has so many different type of labs. And if you do, let's say CompTIA A plus 902, any lab in this, you can turn these learning into interview questions. So this can become an unlimited technical interview questions that you have no limitation here basically. But let's say if I take you now to some of the basic interview questions that people may ask you, and this may not be a complete video, we will keep making more, but here we can start with something extremely basic. So a lot of time when you go for an entry level position, people are interested in knowing some very basic type of information from you. When they say, I'm going to test you for a technical interview, or they're going to put a computers in front of you, they are only interested in something very, very basic, okay? So here we are going to talk about starting with that basic type of interview question. The first thing, you can actually do this yourself by having 2 or 3 different computers. If you don't have that, you can purchase our server access like this, which you have multiple computers like this for 1 month and 1 week. So you can do that. So here basically we have 4 different machines. 2 are servers, as you can see, app server, DC, and help desk staff. These are all work group machines. Some are servers, some are desktops. So they may open a computer like this and they'll say, okay, I'm trying to the scenario is that I want you to what command you will use to connect to check the connectivity between app server and DC 400, even though both are on the same network and you can see they're online. So you can just say that right now they're telling you, you have to focus on these words. They are on the same network, they're online. So take that away, that computer will be off or that kind of stuff. Because as soon as if you say that, what if the computer is off? Computer is right on in front of you. That's a detailed question. You didn't even listen to the details, right? So you have to look into these details. That's what they're looking for. So first they're saying it's on the same network. Then they're saying it's online. Then how will you check the connectivity between these 2 computers? So now they're looking for that skill. Do you know about IT stuff, right? So the first thing you will do is that, okay, you can tell them, I am going to open a CMD command tool, and then I am going to use a command called ping, and then I'm going to type the name of that computer. So when I do that, then it will basically go out and it's going to look for that computer. Now take this screen in front of you. One scenario is that it's not reaching out. So they may ask you, okay, what do you think is the issue over here? So you can say that then, okay, I think the issue may be either the computer is not set to allow connections, meaning it's not allowed to take connection, or maybe the firewall is blocking it. So then, okay, can you fix it? Then you can say, okay, let me just go to the firewall first, just to see if it's not a firewall issue. I'm gonna go ahead and actually open firewall. So I'm gonna go ahead and open the firewall, and then I am going to see, okay, the firewall is set to not basically the firewall is set to not take any connection. So you can see right here, block all incoming connections, including those in the list of allowed app, block all incoming connections. So you see I'm going to uncheck this. For now, I'm just going to turn off the firewall just to check, is it really a firewall issue? So then you can say, I will work on basically if this is the firewall, this way I can decide very quickly if it's a firewall issue or not, because then I can come back and turn it on and fix it by going to these specific options that you just saw right here, block all incoming and stuff like that, right? So if I turn it off totally and then I go back, and let's go back, and then you can actually show them that if you do the up arrow, then your ping command is written for you, and when you do a reply ping there you go, the firewall issue is there. So at least this way, it's not about you getting the fix correctly, meaning they're not looking for you to, why did you turn off the whole firewall, that's not allowed, or blah blah blah. They're not going to tell you that. Here you're just explaining to them that first of all, you know about ping. Second is you understand what is going on. Third, you went into the other machine and you went into the option where you thought could be an issue, right? So that's it. That the entry level person, this is what they're expecting. They're not looking for a correct or the solid way of fixing something. That's the level 2, level 3 people. Then if they want to really get into that, they may be looking into that kind of detail oriented checking. Here they're not doing that, right? So that's number one. Then they will say, okay, how would you find, okay, that's the ping. When you ping that, that's okay, that's it's getting the thing. But how would you find the IP address of this server that you're on, or this desktop? Very basic commands that people want to know. Now they're asking you for specific command right now. Okay, there's no trick. You just need to know IP config. If you don't know about IP config, then it would be hard for you to even get that job. It's so simple, like the ping, IP config. These are very simple type of commands. You can't really miss these. Okay, so IP config is there. Then if they say, okay, I'm not seeing some other information like DNS or DHCP, what would you add into IP config? Then you can say, oh, that command is IP config all. But if I don't understand something, then I'm going to put question mark, and then I will read more. But here you go. Look at this. You got a DHCP server, you got a DNS server right there, and then you have more information about that. So these three commands right there, right? Ping, ipconfig, ipconfig slash all. Now they may ask you, okay, we have our system administrator have applied a group policy. Now you see, group policy is something that it's some of the terms. Now these are the terms that you should know from the courses and stuff that we teach, because that is what you're learning in our courses, like Active Directory, group policy, Office 365, things like that. The only way you're going to be able to give answer like that is when you know that. So when they're going to tell you something, okay, a system administrator have applied a group policy. See, they're not asking you about group policy stuff here, but they're saying that group policy. So something has to be connected to group policy. And as a help desk person, as an entry level person, you should know how to then apply the group policy on computers. Let's say a sysadmin did a group policy, applied it on a machine, but then he assigned you to go to these computers and actually run that group policy command. So then what would you tell them? You can say, okay, for that we're going to use GP update. Okay, we're going to use GP update, and we'll click enter, and then what will happen is that policy will be applied. Then now if they said, what if it's not taking that policy, what is the other command that I should use? So you were going to basically say, okay, for that you're going to use GP update / force, right? And that will force the policy. But you want to add something here, that some policy may even not work with force. You have to either restart or log off the computer, and for some you have to actually restart the whole computer to be able to work that. Now see, these are the things that then they know, okay, this person have done some training, this person knows what he's talking about. Okay. The next thing, very common question a lot of people will ask you, okay, so show me how would you RDP to this server. You see, they're not going to even say the whole thing, remote desktop, stuff like that. They're not going to say that. They're going to say RDP from apps 400 to DC 400. Can you do that for me? And then, okay, you're going to go there, you're going to look for RDP, you're going to type RDP right there. So you see I typed it. So the first thing is you knowing how to get to RDP is the first thing. So if you don't know this means you're missing something very basic. So that's where then of course you need to learn about that in the live training or help desk courses, okay, or that practice lab CompTIA A+ kind of stuff. So you're going to click on remote desktop connection here, and then you will type DC 400. Now this will be happening like this right in front of you, and then what will happen, it will fail and it won't be able to connect to that server. So here you go. So even if you don't know this, give some attention to the errors that you're getting, because sometimes they may just want you to just read out the error for them. Look at this. The error is saying that remote access to the server is not enabled. First one is the most common one. The remote computer is turned off. But remember, they told you that the computer is on and it's right in front of you and it's on the same network. The remote computer is not available on the network. So that's probably third one is a pretty much not very common. But here you see if you're gonna doing a remote desktop to this one, then they will check you. Do you really know how to get to the remote desktop settings? Because that is one of the settings that a lot of people will be working in a help desk environment. You want to turn on a machine for remote desktop connection for a client, staff members, or you yourself. You need to know this to get into servers. So it's very basic. So you're gonna come to the work group. So basically, the way it's gonna work is you're gonna go to the server manager, or in a in a client machine, in a Windows desktop machine, you're going to go to system and then go to remote settings. Or if you don't know, just search allow remote settings. So as soon as you type allow remote, you're going to see that settings, and it's also in control panel. So there's a lot of way you can get to this. You may want to search it a little bit more and play around with it on your own machine to get to understand this stuff. But here, if I come to the server, I can click on the local server, and it says work group right here. And on Windows machine, you are also going to see then almost same options right here. Okay, so there you go. You got a remote settings right there. But look, what is the option here? Then you can explain to them. So basically, yeah. So if I think this is the issue has to do something with the remote settings, because it's not allowed. So I'm gonna come here and allow that, machine, and then I'm gonna click OK. And then you say, okay, once you do this, if I go back to the machine now and I click on connect, you see it took the connection, and now I will put the username and the password to connect to that machine. So for these next tasks, I'm taking you to the premium lab access because I need Windows 10 with Outlook. And here, if you open the one with Windows right here, Outlook 2016 core communication collaboration. Now this is about, the full lab is about Outlook, but I just want to use it so we can do the basic stuff. So here they may put a computer in front of you and they'll say, okay, Outlook is having an issue. I would like you to open the Outlook in safe mode. So you need to know the command. How do you run it first? They want to check that. You are going to right click and click on run, and here you are going to type outlook.exe/safe. And as soon as you do that, it's going to open Outlook in a safe mode. Now here they may not want you to troubleshoot the whole Outlook, but here you have passed the technical question, because it says on the top right there, safe mode. Now they may go in detail of there's an Outlook not coming up, how would you remove the add-ons and stuff like that. That's a little bit too much, and that's where I would recommend you take our course then. So next they may say that we are going to give you an IP address, and you need to change your dynamic IP address to static IP address. So two terms they're using, and if you don't know about dynamic and static, they're looking for like knowledge about DHCP versus how you're going to get to this stuff to get the static IP address. So that's something, of course, you need to learn a lot about. There's a whole learning behind that. But to get this going, and if they give you that IP address with just changing that to static, you can show them that by coming here to the network connections, open a network connection here, and then you will basically click on show available network. So you see right here, these are the available networks, and then you can click on Ethernet, change adapter settings options, and here you can come over here. Now every time when you open something from the new modern way of using Windows 10, you see on the top it tells you where it is. So if you are used to the old way, this is under control panel, all control panel items, network connection. So here you're going to come here, go to properties, and once you go to properties, of course I'm on a normal level. So if you get a prompt like that, then maybe when they ask you something like, okay, why are you getting this prompt, you can say, oh, this user doesn't have privileges to install application, so maybe we need admin rights for this. So they may give you that admin rights and say, okay, now we are giving you admin rights, good job, you have actually detected what was the something that we wanted to know, that do you understand between privileges, stuff like that. So here we are going to put the admin username and password. Oh man, not doing well today. Okay, so now you see I got the admin stuff done, and I'm going to click on TCP IPv4, or if it's IPv6, usually they're going to use this one. And then here you see it is already static, so it's going to be like this, right? That means it's on DHCP, it's getting an IP address, and they're going to give you IP address. Then that's what they want you to do. Actually, they want you to put this IP address here, and that's, you have done the job there, because you have passed that interview question, because you know where to get, you were to give the static IP address to the computer. So that's where you can do that. Now, the second part is that my suggestion to you is, of course, this can never end with basic type of interview question. People can pick anything, so make sure you go to the start menu, and then first by clicking the left click and understand what's in the left click. So if you click on here you have lock screen, blah blah blah, all this kind of stuff. So if somebody asks you how do you lock a screen, you can do lock here, or you can hit the Windows key with L together, and that will lock the system. And then you can also go to the settings here, and it will open up the computer settings. If they say that, okay, how do you get to the settings in this computer, so you can change the account name, display settings, network settings again, applications installation, uninstalling applications. So if they throw anything inside that, let's say they say, okay, show me how you're going to configure a new Wi-Fi, or show me how you're going to uninstall an application. So you see, you can show them multiple ways. And okay, you can go from here by clicking here, go to the settings here, or you can right click here and then going to the apps and features for uninstalling stuff, power options, event viewer. So you have to kind of make interview questions for yourself as well, because computer is just too big. Nobody is going to give you a perfect solution for this interview technical questions. Somebody can come up with anything. Other common one is, a lot of people will say, okay, how would you find the name of this computer and what model or what version of this computer is? So you're going to go to right click and go to system, and you see all the system have all these information. It tells you the computer name, the version of the computer, Windows 10 Pro, the stuff like here, like what is the processor. And if they say command line, you can also make it look a little cool. If you type WinVer right here, and you see it will open up a box like that, and then you can see the things, Windows version and build number in there too. So here you don't see the build here you see the build. So that's a few ways that you can do these things right here. Okay, now another common question could be about file sharing, because file sharing is very common thing in companies, and you may be working in, even in tech, like you may be sharing your own files, and they want to know, do you know this basic sharing stuff like that, right? So they may put something in front of you like this. They may say, okay, I am creating a share here in a server, so let's go ahead and create this. They may create that in front of you, and then say, okay, we're gonna call it share. All right, we're going to call it share, and this share will be then accessible by the whole company. So they'll say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and start sharing this, and they may do this part for you, or they may ask you to do it. So if you don't know how to do all this stuff, then of course it's a little bit more stuff, so you need to know how to share files. I'm just doing it quickly, but I'm going to close this quickly because there's something tricky here. So I already shared this file, right? They may say, okay, now you're a help desk person, I want you to access that shared file, and this is the computer name right here. How would you do that? So you can tell them, okay, you can do it two ways. One, you can do it by searching the computer from here in the run command with two slashes right there, backslash, I don't know if you call this forward slash or backslash, I think it's forward slash. So then you need to put the computer name or the server that is sharing that file. So it's dc01 slash. As soon as you do the slash, see what happens there. Anything that is shared in that computer, you can open it from here. The second method is that, okay, you can tell the person that I can open that share by using the IP address, or even from the Windows Explorer. So I can go in there and type that in the Windows Explorer, and then I can get to that. And also I can type the IP address in here, and then that will open up that file. So that's how you basically get to that share. So another question people can ask, that how do you map that share, like the one that I just created on the server, how would you map it for the user? So you're going to say, okay, you're going to go to the Windows Explorer, you're going to right click on this PC, and you'll click on map network drive. And here you'll pick the letter, and we'll do the same process. You see, it gives you an example too, by the way. PLAB. As soon as you come over here, they already know that you have done the job right here. Okay, so this is how you share the map, and to get to that map, click on this PC, and you see this is a map drive now. It's not a share folder, it's a map drive. Another question they may throw to you, that they may open some application and this will error or show you some type of error, and then they'll say, okay, what will be the first thing for you to check? How would I check errors in here? First, if the application just say this application has some error, right, then maybe they will not give you such a clear error. They'll say, how do you check that? Simply, you're going to say every type of logging is logged in the computer in an event viewer. I'm going to go to event viewer from here. I'm going to open application here, and then I'll see if it's that error is available there. If it's a system type of error, then I will check it in the system. So see how we have one error here, and then you can tell them about, okay, that's where the error is, and I will basically then after that copy this information, and if I I will talk to my IT members, and also I will search online to find more about this. So by just coming over here, you already give them the correct answer, because now you know where the errors are, where the logs are for computers usually, and that's where you're going to come and fix things after that. So another most common one is going to be, they're going to open an application like multiple times, but it's not going to be coming up. They're going to probably tell you, okay, I try to open this application multiple times, but it's not coming up. Where do you think I can fix this issue? So most of the time, the issues like that, when you click on an application and it's not coming up, or it has some type of, they want you to like kill this application. As soon as they say kill or something like that, they're talking about Task Manager. And Task Manager is also a common place for us to come here and troubleshoot things. So you will see that application will have multiple entries, and you just need to kill it, and then you will see that, okay, let's try again, and then it will open up. They may even throw another question. Okay, a user is complaining about a software that comes up all the time when they restart the computer. They're looking for a startup, and startup is also in a Task Manager. Now if you open it here, startup is right here, and you see these things are getting started at the beginning. So they may put an application in here, and they'll tell you, okay, how do I stop it? You're going to right click and disable it, and they'll tell them you need to start the computer, and that's where the user issue will be resolved. Next, they may throw another one to you. How do I open services? How do I stop and start services? You can do also that from services, but this is not the only place to do these things like services and users kind of this stuff. You can also go from other places like control panel. That's why I say that you have to really play around with these things, and specifically if you really want to learn about Windows stuff, that's where I recommend. In my last video, I talked about MD100 Windows 10, and also the CompTIA lab, which is this one, the top one, this one, and also these one right here. So if you even if you do all these tasks, turn this into a interview question for yourself. But of course, they don't want to go too much detail. They want to just know, did you even get to the right place, or have you even tried something that is even 50% correct? Trust me, they're gonna take that. They're gonna be like, okay, this person at least know how to navigate. The rest is all you learn on the job, and of course, with our courses, you get more better. You become a very quick IT professional, but you're good to go after this. And so this is it. Of course, after this, my recommendation for you is going to be to go to the website, either take our live training or take the free training or take the labs right here. And that's the reality between IT that you need to keep learning. And, if you're new, then create scenarios for yourself and then do it practically. And that's where you're going to become a better IT professional. Thank you so much.